The interesting part of this story about Pastor Doug Williams is that he claims that he is not a Christian nationalist. However, he does want his women to behave like a triad wife. If you don't know what a triad wife is, I suggest you look it up. If you don't know what a Christian nationalist is, I suggest you look it up.
Back in May 2025, Washington State passed a law, Senate Bill 5375, requiring clergy, including priests, to report child abuse, even if it was revealed during confession, which makes total sense, right? If you hear about a kid being abused sexually, report it, period. But guess who had a problem with that? The fucking Trump administration did. In June 2025, Trump's Department of Justice filed a lawsuit trying to block that law, saying it violates religious freedom. So now we're protecting the secrecy of a priest over the safety of a child? That's not religious freedom. That's protecting predators. So let me be blunt. Your God told you not to report child abuse because it happened in a whisper booth? That's not faith. That's a fucking cover-up. There is no version of religious liberty that justifies letting a child continue to be sexually assaulted because your church wants to handle it internally. And if you think I'm exaggerating, nope. The Catholic Church in Seattle literally said priests would be excommunicated if they followed the law and reported abuse. Yeah, kicked out of the church for protecting kids. Then on July 18th of 2025, a federal judge sided with Trump's DOJ and blocked the law from being enforced. So now, priests in Washington are legally protected from reporting child abuse if they hear about it in confession. And again, why is it always the Republican Party doing this shit?
Wilson, because he wants to strip away the rights of the women in our country to be able to vote. Flat out. Doesn't hide it. Says you are the weaker vessels, and you pretty much are here just to make babies and do what we say. I'm just saying.
Christchurch senior pastor Doug Wilson makes no apologies for his beliefs on God and country.
I'd like to see the town be a Christian town. I'd like to see the state be a Christian state. I'd like to see the nation be a Christian nation. I'd like to see the world be a Christian world.
And now
I was just watching a series where another guy believed in that. What was that?
Wilson's controversial views as a Christian nationalist are gaining sway in the nation's center of power with the recent opening of his new church and high-profile parishioners like Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth.
Is planting a church in D.C. part of your mission to try to turn this into a Christian nation?
Yes.
Watching this, say, look, I'm a Muslim. Who are you to say your worldview is better than mine, that your God is better than mine?
Well, if I went to Saudi Arabia, I would fully expect to live under their God's rules.
But you said earlier that you want this to be a Christian world.
Yes.
So you want to supplant their religion with your Christian.
Yes.
Parishioners of his church, known as Kirkers, own and operate several businesses downtown next to liberal college town stores.
If it's true,
They're blowing.
Why did he yell boo? Because it's
because of me.
because of you.
What they need to be doing is organizing right outside these churches to see who wants to end the voting rights for women. I'd really like to see them faces on camera. Who all in DC wants to end the voting rights for women?
A big focus of his Christian movement is on a patriarchal society where men are dominant and women are expected to submit to their husbands.
Women are the kind of people that people come out of.
So you just think they're meant to have babies. That's
Well,
it. They're just a vessel.
No, it doesn't take any talent to simply.
It don't take no talent for you to, reproduce biologically.
The wife and mother, who is the chief executive of the home, is entrusted with 3 or 4 or 5 eternal souls.
I'm here as a working journalist and I'm a mom of 3.
Good for you.
Is that an issue
No.
for you?
No, it's not automatically an issue.
Josh and Amy Prince, along with their
Not yet to become a member. Then we got a problem, you see. Then we got a problem.
4 kids, moved here from Washington State.
Do you see Amy as your equal?
Yes and no, in the sense that we're both saved by grace. We're absolutely on equal footing, but we have very different purposes, God-given.
But do you see yourself as the head of the household, as as the man.
He is the head of our household. Yes, and I do submit to him.
So like moving here
I was just
was
gonna say that.
ultimately your decision.
Yes.
That's a great
That's a great example.
Wilson says in his vision of a Christian society,
Who does she remind you of? The wife on The Handmaid's Tale.
Women as individuals shouldn't be able to vote. His fellow pastors, Jared Longshore and Toby Sumter, agree.
In my ideal society, we would vote as households. And I would ordinarily be the one that would cast the vote. But
Wife doesn't want to vote for the same
right,
person as you.
right. Well, then that's a great opportunity for a good discussion.
There are some who have gone so far as to say that they want the 19th Amendment repealed.
I would support that. And I'd support it on the basis that the atomization that comes with our current system is not good for humans.
And Wilson, a veteran himself, is unapologetic about his view that women shouldn't be in certain leadership or combat roles.
Looking at the leadership page for Christ Church,
Right.
it's all men. Do you accept women in leadership roles in the church and government?
In the church, no.
Why?
Because the Bible says not to.
Well, that's not what happens in the Bible. Women do lead all the time.
Progressive faith leader Reverend Jennifer Butler is concerned about Wilson's growing influence.
Now, when I first heard that, I was like, where's Paula White? Because Paula White been leading the church, I don't know how long. Paula White didn't have 4 or 5 different husbands. You know what I mean? She talk about the independence of women and now God called them to be in leadership positions. And
He is rapidly gaining in power. He has hundreds of churches established around the country. They actually literally want to take over towns and cities, and they have access to this administration.
Wilson is part of a broader Christian nationalist movement making inroads with the Trump administration, with a newly created faith office led by evangelical pastor Paula White Cain, and people seen right outside the White House entrance praying and speaking in tongues.
We are standing on the soil of the White House, and we are declaring your word.
How precious.
And now there's a monthly prayer service at the Pentagon, initiated by Hegseth, Wilson's highest level connection to the administration.
It's not organizationally tied to us, but it's the kind of thing we love to see.
For his part, Hegseth has publicly praised Wilson.
Now we're standing on the shoulders of a generation later, the Doug Wilsons and the others.
And as Wilson grows closer to the mainstream, the critics are also getting louder, accusing him and other Christian nationalists of wanting to create the dystopian world from The Handmaid's Tale, something he insists has never been his goal for society.
what? You're literally speaking the entire script of The Handmaid's Tale.
I'm not a white nationalist. I'm not a fascist. I'm not a racist. I'm not a misogynist.
I just defined all of those terminology from what you said you believe. So don't believe my lying eyes and ears. Yeah, that sounds about right with the Trump administration.